In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to make yourself a sheet of Bitmoji stickers. Each sticker is 1 square inch, and I am using a Cricut. At the end of the video, I'm going to go into some detail about which materials I use and how I create my own blade setting. I'm using the Cricut Design Space, and also my machine is a Cricut Explore Air. Okay, so we're going to use the print and cut feature, and we're going to get the most out of our page here. I'm going to show you how I do that. Okay, so here's what our end product is going to look like. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of here, and we're going to start a new project. I already have one going just to make the video go a little bit quicker here, so I'm going to open up my project, and the first step is to get our Bitmoji image into Design Space. So there's a couple different ways of doing this. One really easy way of doing it is just to use the app on your phone, and you can email the image to yourself, and you can open up your email and go ahead and download the image and save it to your computer. Another way of doing it is using Chrome, and if you're using your Chrome browser, you can get the Bitmoji extension, and the little icon is right there on top of the page for you. You can go ahead and click your image, right click it, and save image as. Give it a name and a destination. And we are going to save this as a PNG so that Design Space will accept the file. And we're going to go ahead and upload our image, insert it into our Design Space here. So go ahead and click Upload, and you're going to browse, choose your file, and click Open. Complex. And there's no need to edit here, so just go ahead and click Continue, and we're going to save it as a print and cut image. And we're going to click our image here, and we're going to insert it onto our canvas. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just leave it this size right now because it makes it easy to work with, and we are going to turn this into a square sticker. So go ahead and insert a square and change the color to white, and then we're going to resize our Bitmoji and just get it centered here. I'm just going to bring my Bitmoji over, and using the Arrange tool, I'm going to bring it to the front, and I'm just going to resize it. I like to leave myself a little bit of room around the edges. I find it's just a little more forgiving when it's time to cut. So I'm just going to click and drag here to select both the square and the Bitmoji, and I'm going to use the Arrange tool to center it. One of my favorite features here. And since they're both selected already still, I'm going to hit the flatten, and there's our little sticker. So now it's time to size it. I'm going to change it to 1 inch and then move it off to the side so that we can make a sheet of stickers. So to make the sheet, I make myself a template. I always make myself a template anytime I'm using the print and cut feature, just so that I can get the most out of my materials. So I'm just going to click the unlock button and change this into a rectangle using the max size for the print and cut feature. So for the width, I'm going to use 6.75, and for the height, I'm going to use 9.25. And once I have my template, we can start moving over our images. So we need to move the template to the back, so arrange and send to the back, and then very carefully place your little sticker all the way to the top, all the way to the very edge. And these other guys we're just going to toss in here haphazardly, not too worried about where they are, until I get to my last sticker, and I'm going to very carefully place it on the very edge of the top right hand corner. And then I'm going to hold down the Shift key, and I'm going to select every single sticker, and then using the Align tool, we are going to distribute horizontally, another one of my favorite features. Click the Align again, and we're going to align to the top. And we have our first row of stickers. So now we just need to duplicate. So hit Group, and then Duplicate. And we are going to make a total of 8 rows. I tried making 9, thinking that my template here is 9.25, but I found that they were just a little too snug, and making eight rows is just right. Alright, so I'm going to grab one of my rows, and I'm going to put it all the way down to the bottom and do the same trick. So I'm going to get it all the way down to the edge here of my template, and then I'm going to hold down the Shift key, and I'm going to carefully select each row, making sure that I don't miss one. And same procedure, I'm going to use the Align tool, and I'm going to, this time, distribute vertically, and then click Align again, and this time we're going to align them to the left. And we are going to have our sheet of stickers. So there's no need for the template anymore. So to easily select it, I'm going to use the Layers panel, find my square, and I'm going to delete it. Once my template is gone, I'm going to select all, and I'm going to attach. If you don't attach, sometimes the Design Space will kick off a row and try to print it on a second sheet. We don't want to do that, so hit attach, and we're going to save our project and go to make it. And we're just going to pause here for a minute, and I'm going to tell you about what type of sticker paper that I use. I make a lot of stickers, and I've tried some different brands, and my favorite is from Online Labels. And so when you get to Online Labels, we are going to search by size. So go ahead and click the shop by size and the 8.5 by 11, and then in the filters we are going to select how many labels we want on one sheet, because we only want one. We want one huge sticker basically on our sheet. So I'm going to bring this down to 1, and it narrows my options. So there's the 8.5 by 11, no slit in the back, and that's our size. Now you get to choose what kind of material you want. So what I'm using for this project here is the standard white matte, and they also have removable, there's glossy, one of my favorites, and they also have a weatherproof gloss for inkjet, which is really nice, but it's a little trickier. The blade option is different, so I'll make sure I let you know what the blade option is for that if you want to give it a try, but it is a little trickier. And there we go, so we can go ahead and buy stickers in bulk. Alright, so let's get back to our project here now that you know what kind of materials I'm using. And we're going to go to Make It. And first step is to print. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Continue. You can see they all fit on one page there. I'm going to send it to my printer. I'm going to turn the bleed off. There's no need for it since it's just a white background. And I'm going to click the System dialog, read the fine print here, which is telling me that the dialog box is going to come up behind my browser. So I'm going to get out of the full screen and bring my browser down, and there's my System dialog box. I use a Canon inkjet printer, and depending on the type of paper, I use some different printing settings. So for the matte paper, I just use fine printing on plain paper. If I was doing the glossy or the vinyl stickers, I would choose photo on glossy, but we're just using matte paper, so I'm going to select fine printing on plain paper and go ahead and print. And we will bring our browser back up and carry on. Okay, so let's talk about creating your own blade setting. So you can see here I have some favorites here, the ones with the gray tops. I made those settings. Those are my own custom settings, so I'll show you how to do that. Go ahead and click the button that says Browse All Materials, like you would normally do, and you're going to see a familiar window. And if you scroll down, you can see all the options here, but on the bottom there's this little button that says Material Settings. Go ahead and click that, and now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. You can see what the blade pressure is for all these different materials, the cutting pressure. And so I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and I'm going to make my own. So click Add New Material, and we're going to give it a name. I'll go ahead and call this one My Stickers, and click Save, and then we can choose the blade setting. I have found with my sticker paper that I use that the sweet spot, after lots of trial and error, is 147. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And we're going to go back to where we started. Sometimes design space gets a little glitchy when you're doing some of this fine tuning, so just be patient with it. Sometimes it kicks you out, so just go back in. And then go back to Browse All Materials so we can select the setting that we just created for ourselves. And when you scroll down, you see My Materials, and these are all ones that I've made for myself. And so I'm going to use this one a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and click the star button so it always pops up as one of my favorites, so I don't have to find it each time. And go ahead and click it, and done. And we have my stickers, our own custom blade setting. If you find that your stickers if the Cricut is just a little bit too strong and it's cutting through the back of your paper liner, then you can use these little options here in the drop down menu, or you can just go in and edit it and just tweak it a little bit until it's just right. It's really about trial and error if the 147 doesn't work. If you're using the vinyl, the weather resistant vinyl, I found it was pretty tricky, and the sweet spot is going to be 167, just in case you want to give that a try one day. And you're ready to go. So go ahead and click the load your mat and make it. Here's a picture of the difference between the material sizes, just in case you're interested. So this is some artwork that my daughter created. She loves making dragons. And there's a photo here that will show you the difference between the materials. So you can see that the glossy and the vinyl definitely have a more rich color, but I use the matte all the time still, especially for something like this with the little Bitmoji stickers. They work out nicely, and honestly the matte looks better when you're placing them on another matte surface like essays or tests. Alright, well there you go. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, then go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.